If I had something to say to the young fellas, you know, when you in here in sparring, ain't no winning in sparring. You know, a lot of fighters, they always talk about sparring. You know, oh, I did this to you in sparring, or I got the best of you in sparring. You know, if you in here sparring, you supposed to be working on getting better. There's been times where I just worked on my jab.
Terence Crawford has shocked the boxing world by entering Xander Zayas' training camp as he gears up for the massive June 27 showdown against Jaron at Barclays Center.
Think a knockout would happen?
I don't know. Xander can box. Xander is a big guy. He didn't field out for the weight, you know what I'm saying? He's put on a little bit more muscle, you know? It's an interesting fight because, I mean, I think Boots is the heir apparent. Everybody is waiting on Boots.
Reports claim Crawford flew to Puerto Rico last week to train with the 23-year-old unified champion, reportedly. Sources close to camp say this could reshape what many already call the biggest fight of 2026 so far in boxing. Insiders say this is not a short visit meant for attention at all. Crawford is fully involved, working closely with Zayas on detailed strategies to handle Ennis's explosive power and versatile offense in camp. Sources also reveal this partnership started after a phone call between Crawford and Zayas promoter Bob Arum around
Crawford in that fight.
Why is that?
I think Crawford is the better talent. I think he's a better athlete and a better boxer. And
sources familiar with the situation say that Arum contacted Crawford asking if the retired legend would consider sharing experience against elite welterweights and junior middleweight fighters in the sport division. People involved say Crawford was unsure at first since he has been enjoying retirement and focusing on his business interests.
Who do you think could be the mega fight for him? Do you think a guy like Jaron Ennis in the future makes the most sense?
That would be really good. Ennis is a really good fighter. That would be a major.
But reports suggest Arum pushed the idea harder, explaining that Zayas represents the next wave of Puerto Rican boxing and could gain huge value from guidance of a fighter who has seen every style in an undefeated Hall of Fame career. In the end, Crawford reportedly agreed to spend 2 full weeks training in San Juan, according to multiple sources.
I think it's a lot closer too because Xander Zayas is a really good boxer, puncher. Well, you know, he's really big for 154.
Absolutely.
And I think that he can move around really good. He got a lot of great combinations and stuff like that. But it's going to be a tough fight for him because Boots is actually a big fighter too as well and has a lot of skills, not just punching power, but he has a lot of.
Insiders say Crawford arrived at Zayas' gym on March 25th and instantly started studying Jaron fight footage closely right away. Witnesses say he spent over 4 hours watching Ennis's last 5 fights in detail, breaking down patterns and weaknesses many miss completely overlooked angles. Reports claim Crawford told the team that Ennis often uses predictable setups before throwing his powerful left hook to the body, and with proper timing and footwork, those openings can be exploited inside ring. The changes Crawford is introducing are heavily focused on positioning inside the ring and controlling distance. Sources say he explained that Ennis's power comes from how quickly he closes the.
What do you see from Zayas? He will be an underdog. What do you see from
I see he's got pretty good footwork. He's got pretty good footwork, and I think that could offset Boots' style. You know, according to how he's dealt with movers in the past.
Like Chukajan?
Yeah.
Karen.
Yeah. Exactly.
Crawford also pointed out that fighters who circle or move sideways against Ennis actually end up playing into his hands, because that movement opens up angles for him to land heavy shots. Insiders say Crawford is now teaching Zayas to step in at the right times, break Ennis' rhythm, and take away the space he needs to build his knockout power.
There you go. No, I'm saying boom. So then when you extend it, boom. This is protecting you. This is right here. You know what I mean? Because look, if I throw a hook, no, I'm saying, if I'm here, boom.
Stephen Edwards, a well-known trainer who has been openly discussing this matchup, reportedly appeared on a boxing podcast after hearing the news about Crawford's involvement. Reports say Edwards admitted that Crawford joining Zaza's camp has fully changed his prediction for the fight. He explained that Crawford's elite defensive knowledge gives Zayas access to insights that simply cannot be bought or easily learned anywhere. According to sources, Edwards specifically pointed out that Crawford understands how to shut down elite attackers by controlling the tempo and forcing them to operate at ranges where their offense becomes far less dangerous.
But I don't worry about it too much because, you know, they don't get to watch us train. They don't see the punches that we're working on and things like that. I mean, watching a guy run, I mean, you can only see but so much.
Andre Ward reacted on social media after news of Crawford's involvement surfaced. According to insiders, people close to Ward say he called Crawford training Zayas the smartest move the young champion could make. Ward highlighted that Crawford has dealt with every style, beaten every type of opponent, and carries an elite-level ring IQ. Sources claim Ward also said something like, "If anyone can solve the Ennis puzzle, it's Bud Crawford." Meanwhile, Timothy Bradley first expressed doubts on his podcast. Reports suggest Bradley questioned if just 2 weeks with Crawford would be enough to create a real impact against a talent like Ennis.
You know, it's always effective, but every time he lays off, he never looks rusty.
Stays in the gym.
Yeah, it's he's one of them guys that never look rusty, so I don't really, it applies to a lot of fighters, but he defies the logic behind that, because he don't look rusty with his layoffs.
What makes him so special?
Oh man, I don't think you got enough time in the interview, man, but he seems to have like a very fast process in mind. He can seem to adjust to anything. He's like a savant.
People who reviewed the footage say Crawford can be heard telling Z, "Make him miss small, counter big," which matches his well-known defensive approach. According to insiders, the clip spread fast online and went viral, pulling in over 5 million views in just a day as fans debated whether Crawford's presence truly gives Zayas a real shot at beating Ennis. Brian McIntyre, Crawford's longtime coach, reportedly confirmed the partnership during a brief interview with a boxing.
Right now, with somebody like Crawford and Spence, they're not interested, and I don't think you can really knock them. And some people say, well, how you gonna say that about Canelo but not Crawford? It's a difference, bro. Terence Crawford fought the best dude in the division. Did he not?
Yes, sir. Yeah.
You can fight number one, then you can go fight a B-level guy, a C-level.
Reports say McIntyre explained that Crawford chose to help Zayas because Puerto Rican fans have supported him throughout his entire career. He also noted that Crawford views Zayas as a rare talent who could gain a lot from guidance under high-pressure unification fight experience. According to sources, McIntyre added that Crawford is also working on how Zayas handles the mental side of boxing, especially during the tough middle rounds of close fights. So far, Jaron Ennis' team has stayed quiet about Crawford's involvement. People close to Ennis say his camp is focused only on their own preparation and not worried about who is assisting Zayas. However, insiders claim that behind the scenes, Ennis' coaches are already adjusting their strategy, expecting Zayas to be more defensive and counter-focused than in his earlier fights. Reports suggest Ennis' sparring partners are now being instructed to imitate Crawford's pull-counter style to prepare for those possible changes. Derek James also gave his opinion during a gym interview, saying Crawford's biggest impact might not be technical but mental. He explained that when a pound-for-pound great tells you that you can win, it completely shifts your mindset. According to insiders, James believes confidence decides many close fights, and Crawford's presence now gives Zayas a mental advantage he didn't have before. Betting odds reportedly shifted after news of Crawford joining camp went public. Sources say Ennis was originally a strong favorite at around -250, but the line moved closer to -180 after the announcement. Bookmakers also noticed unusual betting activity on Zayas, suggesting experienced bettors now view the matchup as much more competitive. Robert Garcia also shared his view on a Spanish-language boxing show. Reports suggest Garcia said Crawford's elite ability to switch stances makes him an ideal mentor for Zayas, who also fights from both sides. This video is created for informational and educational purposes only to keep the boxing audience updated. All content is presented under fair use guidelines for commentary, news reporting, and analysis. We do not claim ownership of any original footage, clips, or images used. All rights belong to their respective owners. This content is not intended to defame, mislead, or harm any individual or organization mentioned. To make this video more unique, engaging, and informative for viewers, we have used AI-assisted tools in the creation and presentation of the script. Viewer discretion is advised.
And me and Church got a beautiful relationship, you know. He could be, one day be my son, next day could be my nephew. We got the gym together, so we could be business partners. But we got one common goal, is to win, always to win.